Because there's one thing about you that I knew from before we did the interview, they were saying, oh, well, what are you going to do if he trips out on you? I'm like, I feel like, this is the first thing I said, and Fred, you could attest to this. I feel like people don't understand how ill of a dude this is. I could tell you right off the jump, the only reason I want to have a sit-down and conversation with Charleston White, because I feel like he's a dope individual, and 99% of the shit that he says, I agree with. As wild as this dude is, I actually agree with him. And like there's a lot of people that are like, oh, well, he's going to do this and he's going to do that. A lot of people, I know for a fact that a lot of the interviews you do, the first thing they say to you is like, oh, what can we do to go viral? You know what I mean? They don't want to talk to the real individual or what's really the shit that's going through your mind, the shit that you really care about, that you're passionate about. They don't want to talk about that because for them it's like, oh, well, I got to make money off if I do this. I got to get paid if I do this. So a lot of people lose out on the opportunity to have a true conversation with you. I love that when people sit there and they watch this interview, a lot of the comments are like, damn, I never knew Charleston was this dope. Yeah. I'm like, I did.
Because most interviewers, homie, I reflect the platform. So if you ask me bullshit questions, then you go get the bullshit. And most platforms asking bullshit questions.
Yeah, like I see you do with I guess it was Ish off of Joe Budden podcast. Like y'all had really got into it, and you was basically telling them the same shit. You're like, bro, you about to bring this out of me because this is what you want. Like he kept on being stuck on one simple question. And like the way you had said it, you was trying to explain to him like, look, bro, I say it a certain way to get a certain response so we can have a deeper conversation. And he wasn't even getting it. So like,
well, because they all want to tie and bound us to the street concepts and the street rules. And I'm saying, homie, I grew to become a father. I hadn't been in the streets, nigga, since I was in my mid-20s. I'm in my mid-40s. I'm 20 years out the streets. Nigga, why you holding those codes over my head?
Right. To go viral. 20 years
out, so nigga, we don't get to grow up. So nigga, and I know you faking. You ain't never killed no white man. You don't know what it's like to stand over no white man and watch him die till he die, nigga. You niggas do drive-bys and keep going. I stood over the white boy and watched him die. Nigga, watch him take his last breath and laugh. You niggas ain't got that in you. How dare you question me? Let alone you niggas ain't done 12 years of community work. How dare you question me, nigga?
You know, so I get offended somebody that's questioned you that I don't think I've ever hated more. So today I wanted to publicly inherit the beef. I'm with you. You feel me? This dude fucking Dr. Umar is a punk. He really is a punk. The dude is a lying son of a bitch, talking about all the shit that he does in the community. He's a fucking liar. There's not really much that you can see. All he does is talk a lot of shit on a bunch of motherfucking interviews. I hope that in celebrity boxing they let me beat the fuck out of him because he talks too much goddamn shit. And you know, it ain't personal, but I just think he's a fucking clown. He was sitting there talking to Ish from the Joe Budden show saying, what did he say? Some shit about, oh, well, did your white wife pay for the shit that's going on in Africa? I want to ask Dr. Umar, did any of his black girlfriends or whatever the fuck that he has going on in his life, wives or whatever the hell he has? I don't know. I don't really follow the guy. I think he's a loser. Does anybody that he dated or did he fucking spend any money out in Africa, or does he just talk a lot of shit? Because it seems like that's what it is with Dr. Umar. He just talks a lot of shit. I seen firsthand Charleston White sitting in these council meetings and talking to people, like firsthand. I seen the videos. Right. You sent me a bunch of there's a bunch of fucking videos. And then there's this guy sitting there always talking shit. And I felt disrespected after the last interview that he didn't want to come up here. I didn't make it a big scene. It was what it was, but I feel like that dude's a bitch.
He lying saying that we wanted to debate on your platform. And that's the biggest lie that he left away telling. We was going to dialogue and have conversation like we're having now. Yeah. I actually told you guys, man, to let him know I actually kind of got a little respect for him.
And I did.
Other than the fact that he's begging to have his school. I made that publicly known to you guys to say, man, let him know I kind of got a little respect for him, homie.
Yeah.
Other than the fact that he begged that, I ain't no beggar. So it wasn't trying to create no beef or nothing. He left away feeling sour-hearted because he and I have some mutual friends. One in particular, guy by the name of Baba Amin, who is the founder and the president of the Uhu Academy, which is a school. Something that Dr. Umar is trying to get, but Baba Amin has one. Dr. Umar once came through the passageway of Fort Worth, Texas, and hung out with some of the RBGs. One in particular by the name of Supreme.
Yep.
The father of a kid, Dacian Steptoe, who's deceased for killing a police officer. So Dr. Umar knows some mutual friends. He and I both know. And I know he a pussy ham. He a pussy fiend. Wink in his nuts. Yeah.
When he was on that Sukiyana shit, I'm like, yeah, he kind of got that little pussy hound vibe to him.
He a tender dick.
Charleston said he weak in the loins. I ain't never heard
He's
nobody.
weak in the loins.
Yeah, I listen. I'm telling you, I'm loyal to a fault, and it comes like I'm. All it was is a very simple conversation. Do you want to have a conversation with Charleston? I'm not interested in that conversation. I saw Kid Cudi a couple weeks ago, and I walk up to Kid Cudi. Very simple. Very simple and very respect. Charleston, you know how I get. I'm not somebody that fucking will walk up to somebody in any disrespectful tone at all. I just say, hey, pleasure to meet you. Hey, if you don't mind, I would love to. Before I even got to finish what I'm saying, he's like, yeah. Like he's kind of like telling me to get the fuck away from him. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what the fuck kind of. So I go, what is that noise? Okay, my bad. Okay, Landon, all right. He playing some music. I was like, all I hear is win, 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 no matter what. So anyways, this dude fucking, he was like dismissive. And then I went to speak again, and I was like, fuck this guy. And I just said it just out loud, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna walk away because I don't even want to fucking beat this fucking loser up. And I walk away, and I felt the same way with Umar. I felt like all I was trying to do was sit there and say, let's have a conversation.
Right.
I felt like he was very dismissive. I felt like a lot of the shit was because I'm a Latin guy, right? Like, I don't respect you. I don't fuck with you, shit like that. And all it was a very simple conversation where I would love for you to be able to sit down and have a conversation with him. You would find it, you would actually find out if you did have this conversation that Charleston has nothing but good things to say about you. I said I'm not interested. When people talk to me like that, I'm like, all right, fuck you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they could say whatever they want, but I'm going to take Charleston's word because every time I spoke to him, he's been a man of his word. Every single time. Right? And I felt like it was just mad disrespect for him to come at it that tone. Look, for the people that don't know, I want to explain this. Like, you might not.
Yeah, man, because they wasn't trying to create no debate. That's the misperception that he's running with. Homie, we was gonna sit down, and the internet was gonna really get what they were hoping to get out of me and Dr. Umar Johnson had he done that, because I was welcoming, not as a debate, but to dialogue and have a conversation. I wasn't showing up to disagree with him on nothing. Nigga, I was just gonna come chop game like a bunch of niggas chop game on the Danza Project when a bunch of niggas go to chopping game.
Yeah, that would have been so dope. That would have been so.
Yeah,
dope.
that would go be dope, homie. But his sentiments changed how I would even approach him going forward. So, and I know he a sucker, and I was willing to overlook the fact that I know he a sucker based on his intellect and his intelligence. But what I wanted to show is one of us is angry and one of us is not.
I like that angle. He can't control himself. He just get emotional.
Nah, homie, I'm just playing a bullshit nigga online. But nigga, I ain't no angry bullshit nigga in person.
Yeah.
Nigga, I'm a real respectful, gentleman-like guy with great qualities and traits and characteristics.
It's gonna happen.
And the hell of a resume as a nigga.